everyone. I know that the last time I streamed, my internet dropped out and it dropped out for so long. I was just like, who cares anymore? Who cares? My husband was like, oh, it's back up. You could log. I'm like, nobody's waiting for me. This is the effing internet. People are out. They're like, waited long enough. I'm not waiting for this check anymore. And that's okay. I understand. And I support people being like, F this, I'm out of here. That's what I support. Because I would do the same thing. Because it's the internet. And you only have so long here. You only have so long to do stuff, Figure out your life, as they say. Morning. Hello, Andrew. I have not been able to catch one of Jeremy's streams in like weeks. So I woke up this morning and instead of working out, I opted to come here. Let's do some rice water bright wipes. And I'm worried that I won't work out when I'm done because the coffee will be out of my veins. I'll say this. For years, I've been playing this game where I eat a bunch of food on weekends and I work out really hard in the week and I lose the weight. And it works for me. However, when I went to the doctor recently and was given a really clean bill of health, we got so excited that we ate bad food all week. And now I'm struggling to lose that weight. And the thing is I don't want to give up eating on the weekend. So what I have to give up is desserts for sure. No more desserts, which, that's a blow. This weekend I can survive it. Maybe not next weekend because I'm going to be on my period, dude. And a woman needs desserts. They do. Yes, thank God it's Friday. Hi and good morning. Let's do a little Beyond Glow vitamin C. This is not on sale. Actually, we'll just do the vitamin C because this is on sale in my Avon store, as you guys can see. I am your favorite Avon lady. Hopefully I'm your only Avon lady. I don't like people cheating on me. Or I'm not your Avon lady at all. You just watch and you're like, her shit's stupid. And lots of people do that. Lots of people hate me and watch me and mock and ridicule me because this is the internet. And if you put yourself out there, there is a slew of people that just want to tell you how much you suck. Let's see. I guess I can brighten vitamin C my chest. Why not? I'll vitamin C my chest. All right. A little niacinamide, 10%. Never hurt nobody. Hello. Throw on some paws and have dessert. No, because, okay, I like to start my eating at 152 pounds. I'm at 158. So I'm 8 pounds heavier than what I want to be when I feast. And that's a problem because that's when it starts stacking. And that's when you like, I don't know about other people. I'm not happy when I'm fat. I know other people are like, I'm so beautiful and it's great. I feel terrible. I don't feel like sexually attractive. I don't want my husband to look at me. Like, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel healthy. I feel bad in my clothes. I have no tits. So when I have this big fucking Homer Simpson gut that just sits there hanging, like it looks like a boy's chest that's all flat with a big beer gut. Like I literally look pregnant. It's just not what I want. I don't feel comfortable. And if you're comfortable being overweight, by all means, like go for it. I am not comfortable because I have always lived my life. Let's do the collagen booster eye lift pro. The cream here you put on your under eyes and it deals with crow's feet and dark circles. Very fun. Very fun thing to do. But yeah, that's just how I feel. Like, I don't want to wear pretty clothes. I don't want to wear anything that's tight. I always marvel at someone who's overweight in tight clothes because I'm like, I can't wear tight clothes now because I don't feel good in them. I feel so self-conscious and just icky. And then here comes this bitch rolling up like, fuck you, I do what I want. And I'm like, dude, I wish I could not feel gross. I don't believe anyone's happy being fat. But like I just said, I will see chicks who are morbidly obese wearing tight clothes, running around, every flaw showing, and they're totally fine with it. For me, I get one little thing and I'm like, I don't want to highlight that. I don't want to highlight that. Stop busting your own balls. It's the only way I'm going to lose weight. I'm already like 27 pounds heavier, I think, than what was I? When my husband and I met, I yo-yoed between 136 pounds and 142. Then I went to 152 and I'm like, 10 extra pounds is fine. Now I'm at 160 and I'm like, no, like this is a slippery slope. We all know where this is going to go. And it ain't nowhere good. And I don't gain weight from like my top two abs up. All the weight goes above no, I don't need a good poop. I just had one. All the weight goes above my knees and into my stomach. So when I don't have tits and I look like I'm 4 months pregnant, it makes me really insecure. I sent my sister-in-law, who I trust to tell me the truth, a photo of me in a dress. And I said, do I look pregnant? And she said, oh my God, you totally look 4 months pregnant. Like, my weight is not in a good distribution system. It's like, here's 2 spots. You're 3 spots. My calves, no one gains weight in their calves. Even my mother, when I was just home, was like, wow, your calves are huge. Like, she straight up said it. Like, look at those things. Guess we know where that pie's going. And she wasn't wrong. It went into my calves. That's not a cute place to gain weight. Your fucking calves and above your kneecaps. So you have this sack, a pillow of fat hanging over your kneecaps. No, it's not muscle. Diane, when you see the fat going blue, 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 like, that's not muscle. If I can flick my stomach and it goes bloop, bloom, bloop, how is that muscle? If I can flick above my knee and it's bloop, 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 that ain't muscle. I told you, from here up, I don't gain. So I look all ripped and it's great. I'm telling you where my problem spots are. Chicken legs, I'd love to gain. No, it's not gaining weight that's good. It's fucking fat. My calves are huge. I can hardly wear capris. I can hardly put certain pants over my calves. They're huge. There are good places to gain weight. Your boobs. Your butt. Your butt. That's a great place to lose weight. Share my stream if you guys can. I could use a little love. I'm shadow banned like fucking hell. Like hell. Welcome to the world of perimenopause. Caroline, this ain't perimenopause. And here, I need to educate you on why. If I wasn't eating like a Thanksgiving meal every Saturday and Sunday, I would agree with you. I'm doing anything I can and I still gain weight. No. What I'm doing is enjoying my fucking life like crazy on weekends. Eating like ancient Romans in a feast minus a vomitorium. I probably pack like 4,000, 5,000 calories in a day on a Saturday, right? That's crazy. Because my caloric intake to maintain is 1,800 calories a day, 1,700 calories a day. So I'm like, my fun game of being able to eat what I want, it worked up until, I'm going to use this hit pause. It worked up until I decided to eat all week. And then all of a sudden my body's like, the huge calves suck. But here's my conundrum. I already bought a fat wardrobe for fat agery, right? Now I'm eating myself out of it and I'm cheap. So I'm like, when your fat pants, when the pants you've bought to be fat in and comfortable while you're fat are tight, when you're not fat, that's a problem. All right, let's use a little multi-peptide. That's a problem. I'm like, oops. So I did this to myself. Every fucking bite was delicious. But I told my husband, I got to get this shit under control before the holidays. Otherwise, I'm going to be too far gone. Now, what sucks is my husband's been rowing and he is a machine. And he burns so many calories and he's hungry all the time. And he is like shredded and looks great. So he's sitting there eating delicious chips and stuff in front of me, and I'm trying to not eat them with him. Oh, what a nightmare. And he had these truffle chips. Oh my gosh. And I'm watching him eat them, and I'm like, I want truffle chips. I fucking want the truffle chips so bad. But men get more wiggle room than us women. Janet, it does work. Again, let me reiterate. After I went to the doctor and the doctor said, whatever you're doing is perfect. All your blood work's perfect. You're in fucking like Olympian athlete shape. Like I'm in the 1% of people my age, he said, which made me feel really good. My issue is I went home and instead of just eating on the weekends, my husband and I had a week-long celebration. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 days instead of 2. Push me over the edge. Push me over the edge. Which really makes me sad. Oh, my husband will lose weight in 2 seconds. It's so fucking annoying. But yeah, I did it to myself. I shouldn't have done all that, but I did do all that. And now I'm facing the repercussions of the 5 days celebration. I want to say I don't regret it, but I kind of a little bit regret it. Am I the America's first top model from 9,000 years ago? Yeah. I'm in the 1% of people my age, but I think it's the other end of the scale. Russ. That's what I'm saying. Hearing good shit from the doctor is like a ticket to the buffet, a freebie card. Amber, we were so excited because we had the same doctor. My husband went in first, and my husband comes out, and I go in there, and this doctor is like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "What is going on?" And he was just like, I just couldn't get over how in shape your husband was. He's like, of course you are his wife. And I'm like, he's like, you are in such great shape. I'm like, oh, you really? And he's like, yeah, like, wow. And he's doing all that. He's like, your body fat's great. He's like, your muscles, you're just doing it. And then they did all the blood work. And he's like, it's perfect. You're a perfect specimen for now 43 years old. And I'm like, yeah. So that's why we went home. We're like high-fiving, like our thing works. And then we ate for 5 days instead of 2. And then, oops, what happened? I'll tell you what happened. I'm not 27 anymore. So I can't eat 5 days instead of 2. My husband intermittent fasts throughout the week. I kind of do. 37 is totally different game. Totally different game. When I was 37, I could look at the treadmill and it was off. 37, I still had it going on. In your 40s, for both men and women, your hormones completely change. A woman on Below Deck was on America's First Top Model, the 3rd season. She's the cook. Her name is Rachel. I never watched the 3rd season. I haven't. Run drug operation. Wait, what are you even talking about, Cindy? What is going on? Cindy, you just went off. I don't even know what that means. Okay. But yeah, I intermittent fast. Though technically I eat 3 figs for bowel movement purposes. And I drink a vitamin water supplement. I guess it's water, it's not a shake. And then a collagen thing mixed with water. So I technically consider that some sort of food. And then I eat a sensible dinner. And I have to be in like a 600 to 700 calorie deficit throughout the week to maintain the splurges on the weekends. But as I said, hey, everyone, share my stream if you can. It would help. And I love you for it. But as I said, that week of celebrating our perfect health set me over the edge. After the first 2 seasons, the Top Model was crap and boring. Well, it kind of just turned into a circus from what I saw, like the challenges and stuff. It very much looked like a circus. I'm going to do the Mood Touch Mini Eye Palette. This guy. Why not? Who says I can't? No one. No one. So yeah. Oops. So now on weekends, I am forbidding myself from making pies and stuff unless I'm on my period. Then I can do it. But it's just, I love to fucking eat. That's what sucks. And like my husband and I used to be in just like elite Olympian shape, right? Where it was just ridiculous, like washboard abs, like you name it. And we're still in great shape. There's just a little bit of cushion. A little bit of cushion. And I mean, I don't know how to put it. Like I said, I just get uncomfortable in my clothes. Like now I could probably wear tight clothes and be fine. But man, that sodium bloat, that lasts a while. And you know what I don't understand? When you see bitches go out to eat in tight dresses and shit, you're not eating. You're literally just pecking like a fucking chicken at what's on your plate. You're not eating. Now, some bitches will wear tight clothes and they'll just fucking eat like it's no one's business. And I'm like always impressed by that. For real. That's impressive. I'm like, Susan gives 0 fucks. Susan is going to roll around looking like Jabba the Hutt, does not care. I remember when my husband and I first met and we went out to eat. And he was like, I'm so glad you actually eat. Because you know how bitches are. Oh, I'm just going to henpeck that. I was like, are you going to eat your bread? That's my weakness. Like even bad bread. Once I got upgraded to first class on the airplane, so you get the little meal. And they brought out this bread. And I'm like, I know that bread is subpar. I know that bread sucks ass. Don't eat that bread. It was like the fucking first thing I started shoving in my mouth. I was like, oh. And then I was like, that bread was not worth not a single one of the calories that's in it. Why did I do this to myself? Folks, it's because it's bread. By the way, did you guys know I'm an Avon lady? I'm sure you did. But I'd love to entice you to shop in my store, adriancurry.com. It's all good. I was kidding. I'm obsessed with Tina Turner. I was watching her video Love Thing, and I'm like, that looks like Tyra Banks. It looks like the Wish version. But I said the rock drug, actually. But anyway, I looked up. It was her. I've never seen her that tiny. Her hosting that show ruined it for me. I think some people have just given up on trying to lose weight. Not me. I cannot with bread. I was stoked to pile the leftovers from the bread basket at a fancy restaurant, and the waitress took it before I could. Devastation. Dude, bread. Bread. Cindy, I hear you. Bread, and bread. With butter. But bread. Olive oil and some like super old balsamic. Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good. Hello, that's me. I don't give a fuck. Never going to be a size 1. But do you wear super tight clothes and go out to eat? That's my question. Respect to all these bitches doing this. Because I like see them and I'm like, I can't do that. I can't wear super tight clothes. Like, okay, Thanksgiving, my mother-in-law comes here and she dresses so cute on Thanksgiving. Now, I'm in the kitchen. I don't dress like a Stepford wife in my kitchen. I think that's stupid. Like all these influencer chicks who pretend that they're trad wives. You're not a trad wife. You're running a fucking business and you're titillating other men with the way you dress outside of your marriage. That's not trad at all. Like, it's just bullshit, right? It's so stupid. But I don't like dress up on holidays because I'm in the kitchen busting my ass sometimes for eight hours a day. I know for Thanksgiving prep, usually for 3 days I'm prepping and I'm clocking in like 6+ hours a day each day because it's serious. This Thanksgiving food, it's serious. So then my mother-in-law comes in tight clothes. I'm like, it's Thanksgiving. Who wears tight clothes? I'm like, you're not really going to eat. And she said, oh, I'm going to eat. And she's like, peck, peck, peck. And I'm like, I'm going to have like 3 plates. And then I'm going to eat an entire fucking pie. And I'm not going to do any of that in tight clothes. No. It always boggles my mind. So bitches who wear tight clothes when you go out to eat, can you please tell me why? Could you share with me why you wear tight clothes when you go out to eat? You don't plan on eating. You must not plan on eating. I don't eat in public for that reason. Oh, I will. But I will straight up wear my husband's t-shirt. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I will roll into places like a burger joint. I'm like, I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, liked and shared. Thanks, Jake. Not everyone has a huge appetite. Here's why. Not everyone works out the way I do. I will work out for an hour and a half and burn 800 calories. And then I'm fucking starving. You know what I mean? Your body's like, yo. So then I do it all week and then I just peck, and I eat fucking health food that doesn't satiate the desire of like spaghetti and meatballs with bread after you've just ran for an hour and a half on the treadmill. You know what I mean? I don't think you give yourself enough credit. You literally transformed yourself. You were so decent and so aware. Even your tidiness was fashionable back in the day, or on the show anyway. Haha, now forget it. You're hella organized or tidy, whatever you want to call it. I am. I'm very organized. But thanks. They wear tight clothes with lots of spandex in them. Ugh, that just sounds so questionable, not fashionable. Ah, I understand. Well, it was because I was a stoner. Now, when I was a stoner, I would fight you tooth and nail. It's not affecting me. It's a medicine from heaven. It's medicine. It doesn't affect me. I used to fucking be that stoner, and most stoners are that stoner. I preached weed as if it was my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I tried to convert non-smokers into being smokers. You're not smoking the right strain. I'm a fucking marijuana expert. I got you. You know how annoying they are. They're like Jehovah's Witnesses. I used to be one. I can speak on it. I've had people like try to teach me what strains will work for me. I'm like, bitch, I have hosted the Jack Harrer Awards with Be Real from Cypress Hill. I've done a Snoop Dogg music video. What do you think happened all day? You wouldn't have even been awake. Have a fucking seat. Seriously. There's a place for you to sit there and shut the fuck up. However, once I quit, that's when I realized, oops, whoops. That shit was making me dumb as fuck. Dumb as fuck. If I had your body, I'd be naked all day. I walk around my house naked all the time. That's why I don't have to show my shit off online, because I have a husband who enjoys it. And yeah, I don't need to show other men my body. Speaking of couples, I'd like to talk about this. Ever see those couples that like every day it's a post, I love you so much, I love love. And it's like, everyone's like, couple goals. Oh my God, I love you guys. You're my favorite. It's all bullshit. It's a fucking show. And everyone's like, blah, 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 eating it right up. Nobody behaves that way for real. Nobody. You all know the truth of relationships. They're not always beautiful, and you need trials and tribulations. But projecting this fake ass bullshit, and go look at the comment sections of some of the most famous couples out there, and people are like, blah, 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 just eating up the fucking, it's bullshit. It's not real. It is not real. And it is definitely a facade. And I can say from experience, and not just experience, I was on Meet the Barkers. I knew Jessica and Nick when they were, Hogan Knows Best. Breaking Bonaducci. Your fucking girl was there for it. What do you know about celebrity couples that are overshare everything? Well, everything. I know fucking everything. How about, have you considered that? Have you considered I'm an actual expert on oversharing relationships? Not only personally, but everyone I knew at the time. All of them. It's so fucking toxic and bad. It's so toxic and bad. I literally feel awful whenever I see a famous couple posting all that. Oh my God, I love him and he loves me. Oh, look how funny we are. This is us every day. Look at us. And it's like this big oversharing, big production. I know this. I lived it. The more online, the less they have in the relationship. Boom. It is compensation. Not to mention it brings way more drama from others into your lives. Boom, when you publicize your relationships like that, 100%. What's toxic and so bad? Oversharing your relationships online. It's all bullshit. All divorce. They all get divorced. All of them. Like even the Osbourne, Sharon, or Ozzy constantly cheated on Sharon. All the time. It was really bad. Oh, but they're so wonderful and they love each other so much that he put his pee-pee in everyone else. Oh my God, that's love. That is not. That is toxic. And they're very funny and they were fun to watch. But that's toxic. Remember Tommy Lee and Pamela? Oh my God, every second, share everything, every second. Oh, we love each other. Boom, gone. You know what I mean? That's just, everyone gets divorced. It's not real. They told all, because they're like, look at me, everybody, me, and look at me. That is poison. It's poison to need validation. Like, they lost their oldest daughter. They're like, oh my God, we want to be famous, more famous, fame, celebrity, fame. And she's like underage. She's like, Mom and Dad, I don't want cameras in the house. I don't want to be exposed. And they're like, well, fuck you. Get out of the house then. Fame. And she left underage. And Sharon's like, I kind of regret all of that. But she's like, I wouldn't change anything. I chose fame and celebrity and TV over my daughter. I try to imagine being in that position of allowing an underage child to leave the house because I needed to expose my private life and my children on that level. And I'm like, that is not a good thing, guys. It's just not. I think Pamela Anderson and Liam is a fake relationship. So you guys could be like, oh my God, they're so amazing together, to promote their movie. And it's really smart. That's what I think. But imagine being like, I will lose my child and let my 15-year-old daughter leave the house and destroy our family because we need to be more famous on TV. And our own child is begging, please, I don't want to be exposed like this. And they're like, no, but how will we be more famous? And they're like, well, fuck off then. See you later. We made this decision as a family. I just can't imagine my own parents doing that to me. 16 is so young. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. I'm trying to imagine at 16 years old, my parents choosing TV crews over me. Just for a second, imagine being a kid going, I don't want my whole life filmed in my home, and being like, well, we're making the decision to expose our underage child. And then she left and never came back, and it destroyed their family. And she has no relationship with her siblings, barely a relationship with her parents. Oh, but it was so good for the money and the fame. Yeah, it was so good. How is that good? The more I think about it, the more bad it is. It's not good. It's not good to do that. Like, I don't think that's a wise decision to toss your kid out of the house underage so you can, be on TV. That seems very selfish, personally. I've listened to her interviews. She didn't want to be that. Bunch of Nepo babies riding on her dad's coattails over exposing their life for fucking attention. She thought it was gross. And I've always thought that parents that, expose their kids and stuff, it's just too much. It's too much. But, some people will sacrifice anything. And sure, they were famous, but Sharon Osbourne was not that famous before that show. And the kids weren't that famous at all before that. Only Ozzy was famous. And to pretend otherwise is to be insincere. No one knew their children, and very few people knew Sharon outside of the music industry. And I think everyone is collectively lying to themselves if you say, oh no, everyone knew who Sharon Osbourne was. She was given the choice. Dude, her parents chose. Am I crazy? Her parents chose putting their private life on TV over their kid. How do you not think a show's gonna blow up with that like that? You're on TV, you're fucking on TV, it is TV, like that. What the fuck? You've blown up the second you're chosen to be on TV. Am I crazy? Am I fucking crazy? As someone who lived through a reality TV show, I think doing that to kids is Chinese water torture. I'm sorry. It is unhealthy. It is not fucking good. It is not good. That is not a good environment at all. Having 50 cameramen in your house with booms over your head, that is not okay with an underdeveloped brain. That is toxic and bad. I never heard of Sharon before the Osbournes. That's what I'm saying. They were trying to be famous and they chose fame over everything else. And it fractured the entire family to where, the siblings don't have relationships with each other. It's like crazy. It's not good. But I could never let my child have to choose something like that. Either you expose yourself on TV with us so we could be famous celebrities, or you fuck yourself. That's your choice. Famous celebrity, overexposure, make you uncomfortable, or get the fuck out. Amazing choice. You have that choice. Get fucked or come on in. I don't think I would be able to even live my life happily after that. And I'm just saying, as a former reality star, I remember when VH1 was like, we want you to breed on camera. And I'm like, that would destroy the child. I don't want to breed on camera. I don't even know if this is the guy I want to breed with. I don't think, honestly, I didn't want him as my child's father. And I'm figuring that out. Oh no, I don't think this would be good. Right? We don't have the same beliefs of what kids need, right? He wanted the finest schools and the finest things and the nicest cars. And I'm the opposite. I had to work for everything. I'm like, no, you don't just give kids shit like that. Are you out of your mind? We weren't on the same page at all. And I'm like, I don't want to breed and expose my kids to this thing that's destroying me. It's not a healthy thing to be on TV at my age with my brain. I don't think being on reality TV is very healthy for anyone, let alone an underdeveloped brain. Again, the Osbournes was hilarious, but those were underage kids and shit on there. And I just don't know if that is the route I would ever take. Actually, I know that's not the route I would take with my own children because I said no. I am using this. It is Mood Touch Mini Eye Palette in Cocoa Sand. But, I think people are willing to do anything for fame, validation. And I think, Sharon wanted to be famous because she worked really hard to keep Ozzy's shit together. And she was behind the scenes, and then, exposing their family on that level would then bring her a certain level of fame that, she didn't have. Before that, she was just Ozzy Osbourne's wife to the few people who knew her. And then afterwards, she was Sharon Osbourne. But as I said, the big fracture in that family, I can't imagine telling my own kid, you have the choice to either stay here and be exposed on national television or to get the fuck out. And, it's going to be a great choice for you. It's really going to help you. I don't know. I'd feel pretty bad if my family chose fame and celebrity over me. And I'll tell you firsthand, being on TV with your family, terrible. I wish I never brought my family on TV. It caused issues. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. I have a friend who's very honest with me. And she's like, dude, even I, as your friend, felt a little bit of that coattail riding, a little bit of, well, I'm her friend. She's like, I can't imagine what like family members would feel like on TV. She's like, it is enticing when people goo goo gaga over you because of who you know. She's like, it just is. She's like, I think it would be that way for anybody. She's like, so I can understand, being in your position, how that would be a very slippery slope with, bringing your family and stuff on TV. I think it's toxic. I don't think it led to very many good things outside of I have a video of my grandmother. But yeah, I mean, in retrospect, if I could go back, I would probably be like, you know what? It would not be healthy for me to bring friends and family on TV. It's just not. Did my reality show with my ex-husband push me into being married? No, it's because all my friends were getting married and having kids. And my high school sweetheart left me because he was insecure about me having one top model. And I felt really left behind. And I couldn't find anyone my age in entertainment that even had marriage on the brain, because everyone my age was like, oh, we have like 20 years of partying before we settle down. Likable or not, I don't think it was healthy for me and my family to be on TV. It caused a lot of issues, boundary issues and stuff. It is what it is. I don't know of any family that's been on TV that it's like some healthy outcome. So in retrospect, now being older and wiser, I had friends that I didn't realize were kind of using me to get airtime. I didn't realize it at the time, but I see it for what it is now. That's not healthy. That's not good. You know what I mean? I had no idea their daughter was that young when she had to leave. Yeah, dude, that's a terrible choice. Either expose yourself on TV when you don't want to as an underage child, or get out. The fame bug, man. People really want it. They really want it. And hence relationships. It's not couple goals. When you're oversharing this much, you're compensating. You're overcompensating for something. It's just like people, just like this. Are you guys ready?
The most successful people I know never brag about their wealth. In fact, it's the opposite. They're interested in you, they're asking questions, and they don't want anyone to know how much wealth they have. People who brag about money likely have insecurity and aren't that wealthy.
So I had a friend who was a billionaire. I had no idea. None. Dressed in normal clothes. He lived in a normal house. Little did I know it was like one normal house out of 6 other normal houses. But I'm talking not an extravagant house, like upper middle class. Billionaire. It was only when we went to this airport and a hangar, and I realized that the hangar was his and all the planes inside of it was his, that I was like, huh? Never bragged about money. I'm telling you, there are so many people on the internet that you hear them brag about, being wealthy or how much money they have. And it's so off-putting. And it's got to come from either deep-rooted insecurity, or they're not as well off as they want everyone to think that they are. Because why else would you do that? Someone confident in themselves is not going to brag all about their successes. Like, I feel like the polar opposite of this shit. Like, okay, I posted the other day and people got upset at this. So everyone's all mad about saying unhoused instead of homeless. And they claim, and it's only rich, affluent white people who have never been homeless who claim if you say homeless, it's taking away someone's dignity, but unhoused, which is basically the same fucking thing. It's like saying people of color, but if you say it backwards, oh, now it's magically bad. It is just mind games with words. It is Soviet political correctness. This is what the communists in Russia did, where they changed language and policed people's language. Anyway, I lost my house in 2015. I lost everything. I did not feel good, but I told my friends, I'm homeless, dude. I'm going homeless. I wasn't like, oh, my dignity's gone when I use this word. I'm like, do you want my couch? Why? I thought you loved that couch. Well, I have nowhere to put it because in like 2 months, I ain't going to have a home. Talk about eating humble pie. I had to eat my humble pie. You know what I mean? It's like, I lost it all. And why? Because I didn't want to keep exploiting myself as some sex object. I didn't want to. And the only jobs I was getting offered was that. And it was awful. I was like, people don't care about me unless my boobs are out and my butt. Like, they just don't care at all. That's like saying unalived instead of deceased. The reason they say that is you get demonetized. So the unalived thing is because YouTube and TikTok will take away your money if you tell the truth. So if you're someone who, works really hard to make a video or do something, and then YouTube's like, we're just going to take it all from you because you said someone died. Like, I don't get monetized here. I don't make any fucking money on YouTube. I sell Avon. That's how I make money. I have no problem telling you guys. That's how I make money. So let's do FMG Glimmer Sticks, cream eyeliner. But yeah, I am not a big fan of the PC police, trying to tell everyone to say unhoused instead of homeless. I went homeless and I was going to crawl back to Illinois to live with my mom because I lost my home. And it was only because my husband, it was too early in our relationship for me to move in. It was way too early. But my husband was like, I feel like we're going to be missing something if you leave. And he was right. We're married happily now. So he invited me to move into his house. And people were like, wow, that was fast. I'm like, yeah, because I'm homeless. I'm a fucking bum. And it wasn't like my dignity was gone or anything. I was like, dude, Hollywood ate me up and spat me right out. That's what happened. So again, these people who claim that saying homeless is some bad thing, they've never been homeless. They've never lost everything. For some reason, they have so much wealth. I think it just makes them feel better for being so elite and wealthy when other people aren't. But I'll tell you this, it is a very humbling experience to lose everything, especially your home. I was very proud of my little apartment in LA. Very proud indeed. But it just didn't work out for me because I couldn't afford it anymore. And then my friends made out with some sweet furniture, I was like, hey, you want this stuff? Take it. So I still had my Flex Belt ad at the time. So I was making a little bit of money every year, but it would have been considered poverty. So if my husband hadn't footed the bill for rent, I bought all the groceries. I had enough for that because, back then groceries were affordable. But I don't know. It didn't make me feel like I lost my dignity to be called homeless or to call myself homeless. And if you said I was unhoused, It wouldn't have made the scenario any better. Why did you have to move out of your place at the time? Because I went homeless. I couldn't afford it. That's why. They asked my friend's little boy, I think he was 4, if he identifies with what he was given gender at birth. The people who do that shit, the people who bring adult problems to children are abusers. If you bring your divorce fights to a kid, you're an abuser. If you bring something as complicated as someone who, is a transmission later on in life, that's way too complicated for kids. If you're talking about sexuality and stuff with kids, that's way too complicated. Let them be kids and leave them the fuck alone. Scott Baio posted a video of how he was outed in 2016 for supporting Donald Trump. Just a sad world we live in. Well, because Hollywood's evil, and they're like, you can only agree with everything that we stand for, which is covering for Harvey Weinstein. They all knew. But then they want to tell you that they're the beacons of what's virtuous and good. And these people all knew what was happening. They all knew about P. Diddy. They all knew about everything. And they're like, we're so virtuous and what we believe in is the best. It's like, are you sure? Are you sure? I promise you I don't want a man in the bathroom with my daughters. Well, women's bathrooms were made because women were being preyed upon in factories and stuff when they went to work by men. And they were so afraid to go pee that they would either not drink water all day and pass out from dehydration, or they would have to go together in like a group of 10 to try to ensure their safety. So women's rights are being erased. For me, a survivor of bad things happening to me, if you have a functional wee-wee, I'm sorry, I don't feel safe with you in a private space for me, because I think people have forgotten people who have been attacked and harmed by people with wee-wees. The reason we have these safe spaces is to keep the wee-wees away, because there is a huge issue with people with functional wee-wees being into ladies taking advantage of them like we are the weaker of the species. It's just weird to me, the whole thing. The whole thing. We lived in a 1-bedroom trailer with 4 kids for years up Butcher Hollow. I still miss that place. It's the memories that you make in a small place like that. I lived in a big home with my ex-husband that I could hardly afford, but he insisted. It was awful. It drained me of all my resources. I couldn't afford it, but I had to pay half. And I didn't want to live there. It was bad. I didn't want to live out of my means, but he insisted that that's what he wanted. And I called it the fortress of solitude, unhappiness, and the killer of joy. That's what it was to me. And then I get this tiny 1-bedroom apartment, and it was amazing. Took you 8 months to get back to the mainland after being homeless in Hawaii. I would say being homeless in Hawaii is probably more comfortable than being homeless in Chicago. But I hear you, because that is way out in sea. And flights are fucking expensive. And when shit hits the fan, you're trying to get home and you can. I can't imagine. Fresh figs baked with bacon. That does sound good. That does sound good. There was so... Didn't choose. Now it feels like it's a trend for most people. Michelle, my gay best friend that I grew up with, totally thinks a bunch of straight, just weird people want attention. So they've hijacked the gay community to get it. You know what I mean? Big empty house is depressing as fuck. Dude, fortress of solitude. Home of unhappiness. Probably for both of us. So we're very happy to not be there. So now everyone wigging out about the homeless issue. When addicts hit rock bottom, families and friends cut them off to stop enabling them. It's either time for rehab or F off forever. Why is it now looked down upon for the same rules to be applied to homeless that are using, which is the majority of them? Why does the government and these people be like, oh, we must coddle the homeless that are on meth and allow them to torture and scare everyone walking down the street? Fuck that. I'm sorry. I lived in LA. The tent cities are terrifying. As a woman, I was fucking living in utter fear all the time. I had to go downtown to the fucking fabric district all the time. It is fucking terrifying. Why did I, as a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen, have to be tortured and live in fear of homeless druggies? And why does the government sit there enabling the homeless druggies when you can watch intervention, and interventions like cut them off completely, ostracize them from civilization, from the family? They have one choice. You either go to rehab and get clean or get fucked. No, they must take over our cities and scare every woman on the streets. And no, like, why do people think that the most effective way to treat an addict is suddenly not the way to treat them if they live in the streets and poop everywhere? Didn't Trump mention the homeless in DC getting fined? They can either move into shelters or go to rehab. Oh, that's terrible that Trump says to live somewhere with a shower and a bed. They don't want to go to the shelters because they want to do meth. So in Los Angeles, I volunteered to help the homeless. I was very young, 23, 24. It's a money racket. It's a money laundering scam. So they never help the homeless because the homeless don't want to be helped. The homeless want to do crystal meth and bath salts and all this other shit. And you're not allowed to do that at the homeless shelters. Love it for Slash microfiber mascara. So what happens is the homeless shelters are fucking empty because they're like, we just want to do drugs and scare people on the streets and steal things and be awful and like shake and convulse on the roads. Fuck that. Go out in the middle of the woods, dude. You're not welcome in the city. Why we started tolerating this shit is unbelievable to me. If you want to be a drug addict, homeless person, you should be ostracized from polite society because that is the way to interventions work. Your family and friends ostracize you and won't speak to you. Why does society have to deal with you going, hey, give me $20, I'm going to get you? Get the fuck out of here. Who is making the rules that this is okay? And who is pretending, forcing people to, like, you have a choice. Either you live out in the fucking woods far away from polite society, or you go to a homeless shelter, or you get fucking clean. And then they're clutching their pearls over that. It's the only method that works. Not enabling, oh, we have to give them clean needles and enable them. They enable them because it's a money laundering scam to get all this money to solve homelessness, knowing that none of the money will go to the homeless. And they're just going to keep it all and put it in their pockets. That's it, kids. That's all. Go out in the woods and start wildfires. All right, then make them go to Iowa. Make them live in the middle of fucking Nebraska or Kansas, where everyone can see their tent city from a mile away, and ostracize them to a small little space and say, fuck off. You don't behave in a way that's productive to polite society. If you disagree with me, I'm a former drug addict. I was like, steal, manipulate, and thieve from people, steal from grandma's purse, everything about me. Drug addicts' brains are fried. They are dangerous. They're fucking dangerous. How many times have you gone to a subway and walked down the street and some meth head's like, and you're terrified? Fuck that. Fuck that. Why do we have to live that way? Oh, because it helps them to coddle them, and we live in fear and clutch our purses and run and hope they don't get us. That's a terrible way to live. Most homeless people who are not in shelters, I'm telling you, I volunteered my time in LA, and then I stopped because I realized it's a money racket. They refuse to go to the shelters. Well, I can't drink and do meth there. The shelters are empty. Free showers, free bedding. 90% or more of the homeless are on drugs or drunks, and you're lying to yourself if you believe otherwise. Go have some conversations with them. Go have some fun conversations. Walk into a tent city and talk to those people. And then you come out of it and tell me how sober they are. You can't. The reason that they have tents is they refuse to go to the shelters because the shelters are like, we don't tolerate drug use. And they're like, well, we just want to do drugs. When I would give money or give stuff to the homeless, I would be like, are you hungry? No, I need money. Why? Because they want drugs and booze. There was even bums with a sign like, hey, I need money for drugs or money for booze. I don't want food. I only want drugs. Drug addicts are a fucking danger to society because it fries your brain. How many times have we seen druggies that murder their whole families because they're not in their right minds, because they have chemicals eating away at their brains? They are dangerous. I used to be on drugs. I was not a safe person. I was dangerous because I was not thinking clearly because my brain was altered by drugs. So why do we have to tolerate being around crazy fucking drug addicts? Why? And then just hope to God they don't hurt us. I was an addict. I believe you're always an addict, and I would never hurt anybody. Michelle, are you denying that crystal meth rots people's brains out of their heads? Am I in La La Land? Have you spoken to a meth head? They're not human anymore. They're so fucked up. This isn't a logical person. They're broken. It's like a monster. Someone I love so much, they're gone now because they didn't stop doing drugs. They were no longer human. They were a thing. I couldn't even recognize them as a person. Homeless people who are not addicts have full reign of any homeless shelter. People who choose to live on the streets do so because they want to do drugs. Homeless shelters do not allow you to do drugs there. That's why they're fucking empty. You have to look into this scam that is the homeless shelters. They get all this money knowing damn well no one's going to them because they want to do drugs. Some meth heads come back, some don't. But to deny that drugs fry your brain and make you no longer you, you have your own mother saying you're unrecognizable as a human being. There's a reason. Sobriety challenge can be a new term for drug addicts, right? Creative Juice, thank you for the $10. So I, living in LA, lived in fucking fear. I couldn't park in my garage at night because it was an alleyway between Melrose and Beverly and La Brea and Highland. And at night, all these drug addicts are like, hey girl, hey girl. And I was like, oh my God, terrified. I lived alone. I could not park in my own garage because scary, violent, criminal, homeless drug addicts were in my fucking alley preying on me. My friends would be like, why don't you want to come out tonight? I'm like, because I don't feel like parking 8 blocks away from my fucking house because I can't pull in on my garage at night. I live alone. There's no one to make sure I'm okay. I don't want to park there. I am terrified. Go walk Melrose at night. Hey girl, I'm on drugs. And everyone's like, oh, they're so safe. And I don't want to be around these people. Why do people make excuses for these fucking people? I'm sorry. You are all Harlequin. Mr. J, he loves me so much. He's a good guy, that Mr. J. Oh, but the Joker just killed everyone and hurt everyone. No, I love Mr. J. He's a good Mr. J. He's just misunderstood. You are Harlequin. You. That's you. She was the fucking problem. Mr. J needed to be in a straitjacket and locked the fuck up so that no one had to deal with him. And now all of a sudden cities are like, no, we want jokers everywhere. They're so safe. Oh, the Joker, he had it rough. That's why he's the way he is. Okay, Harlequin. What the fuck? It's insane. So, that's a good impression. Thanks. I really did love Batman, the animated series. That was my jam. I don't understand the empathy and compassion for fucking criminal psychopaths and mentally insane, dangerous people have gotten to the point where we are willing to put women and children at risk every single day so everyone can feel better that they didn't chastise or force the scary, criminal, insane, druggy homeless to do the right thing. And I don't understand why, as a tax-paying citizen, that I had to live in fear like that. I don't understand that. I don't understand why these people had more rights than me. They had more rights to terrorize me in the street, to make me scared, to come at me. So my husband and I were walking our dog in North Hollywood. She had to pee, and it was nighttime. And there was this little park, and it had some lights. So we're walking the dog in the park. A band of homeless men start stalking us. And my husband was like, get close to me. And I didn't notice them at first, but my husband's on it. And I've seen the homeless every day sitting there, I'm on meth. And they don't go to a shelter because they're on fucking meth. But now it's nighttime, and now they've decided that my husband and I are the target for their criminal activity, which was not anything good. So they start closing in on us. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. And my husband's a big guy, but this was like 10 homeless people. Oh, we're going to get them. Like, that's what was happening. And I'm scared. And my dog is a lot of bark, but no bite. And I'm getting afraid because I'm like, my husband can't defend us against this many people. What I didn't know is my husband had this crazy fucking flashlight, this LED light. Have you ever seen those flashlights that are so bright the beam like goes into outer space? This fucking smart man, he's awesome. So he whispers to me, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to blast them with this. And then we're going to jog to the street where they couldn't get us. And they're closing in. We're going to take their money, going to hurt them, maim them. You know, that's what they're fucking thinking. I was so scared. My husband turns around. Wow, this fucking floodlight in their face. And I could see the group that was coming after me. It was like Breaking Bad in a crack house. Like they're all standing there. What were they going to come shake my hand, pat me on the head, and welcome me to the park? We all know what they were going to fucking do. Probably rob us, and let's hope that it stops there and not go anywhere else. But most likely beat the shit out of my husband and do something bad to me while we're at it. My husband blinds them all with this light because it's pitch black out, it's dark, and I'm like that was the last time we walked in the North Hollywood Park. I'm like, that place ain't safe. So all these tax-paying citizens that pay for this park for us to take our dog to pee at, they can't even go there because in the day it was kind of dangerous with these homeless people. But at night they came for us. And I'll never forget how I felt, how afraid I was. And now that I don't live in a city that makes excuses for this behavior, my life is so much better. I feel so much safer. I don't have to worry about crazy meth heads prowling around outside my house looking to target me. And what sucked is our dog really had to go to the bathroom. And we weren't even that deep in the park, but these guys hid. They hid behind these bathrooms and they were going to ambush us. And God bless my husband, because I honestly wouldn't have noticed at all that they were coming until it was too late. But this is my problem, is after living in Los Angeles as long as I did, my issue is that people will defend these addicts more than the people they prey on. And it's just, I don't understand it. The same people that screech about women's rights and how women should just be able to feel safe walking around at night will advocate for the criminally insane and drug addicts who mean you harm to live on the streets and in parks to prey on you at night. I don't get it. I just don't understand. I've been saying for years, and people in LA would get so mad at me because I was like, lock these fuckers up. Why do we have to live this way? I had crackheads try to break in my apartment. They took a crowbar to the front door and shattered it. I ended up getting a shotgun because I lived in so much fear. I would put glass, like vases and glass things, in front of my front door so that when they kicked it in, I would hear it smash and have a fighting chance. Why did I have to live that way? Why? I used the Mood Touch Mini Cocoa Sand palette. This guy. That's what I use. Thanks for noticing. I don't understand why everyone's so okay with people having to live in fear like that. I don't understand it. So once a meth head was behind my apartment in Los Angeles, and they were so out of their, maybe it was bath salts, I don't know for sure, whatever it was, but there was a brick wall and this man was smashing his face on the brick wall. Now, I had parked my car and I thought I was safe. Oh, okay. I thought I was safe because it was still light out. And I saw him coming down from the alley, and I have never ran like that. So what sucked is I had 2 gates to go into to get to my apartment. The first gate was to the alley. It was this big metal gate, and it only had a keyhole. So it was like a horror movie, scrambling with my keys. Oh, scared. I got in. I booked it to the next one, got in that. I could hear him screaming, I'll fucking fucking kill you, bitch. I'll fucking kill you. And I was like, oh, he's so wonderful. Keep him on the streets. Literally 30 minutes later, I'm watching him bash his brains out on the wall. And I called 911. It took the cops like 25 minutes to come. I don't think he survived. I could hear the sick. Okay. And for people that like, oh, drug addicts, they don't always hurt someone. Did you read the story about the chick who did crystal meth and tore her own eyeballs out of her head? I don't understand why people make excuses. I used to do coke and heroin. I did. I'm clean. I'm good. I don't consider myself an addict because I have no desire to ever touch anything again. I don't like to alter my brain. I don't want weed. I don't even want alcohol. I'm fine. I think people who lie to themselves that all drugs are equal, they lie to themselves and they say, well, I used to be a cokehead. I never wanted to hurt anybody. Oh, I used to do smack. I never wanted to hurt anybody. Yeah, I used to do that too. Smack would make you just lay there and cocaine would make you annoying. Like, hey guys, are we going to go out? Like, I get it. Have you been around people on fucking bath salts and meth? A chick tore her own eyeballs out of her head. She's blind for the rest of her life. While altered on drugs, she put her own fingers into her eye sockets, smushed the eyeballs, and tore them out. That's not true that the only drug out there is fentanyl. That is not true. There are so many fucking meth heads. It's not even funny. And fentanyl is so dangerous. Downtown LA, I have always called The Walking Dead. It's a zombie apocalypse. Let's do vitamin C illuminating primer. You literally go down there and at 4 p.m. when everyone leaves. Now, downtown LA should be a shining beacon of Los Angeles. Why it's not beautiful and clean is beyond me. I am at a loss for words. The excuses people in LA give of why they've allowed a zombie drug addict apocalypse from Skid Row to take over the entire city at 4 or 5 p.m. These drug addict homeless, if you're in a hotel in downtown LA, go to your window and look out and watch them come out. Brains. It's terrifying. They're not in their right minds. They're all on drugs. Men are scary as is for me because men can be scary because I'm a woman and we all know the history of shit. There are many men who will save me, but there's also many men who will do bad things to me, right? When there are a bunch of men with altered consciousness, drunk, meth, to say I don't feel safe is the biggest understatement in the world. Yes, the Avon convention is actually going on right now. I was supposed to go. I booked flights and everything in March, but unfortunately, financially, I just wasn't where I wanted to be with my business this year, and I couldn't make the justification to spend that much money on a trip, so I canceled. They need President Xi Jinping to visit LA, and they will clean it up for a while for the communist leader of China, but they won't do it for any of the people living there. And when you live there, you get so used to zombie apocalypse fentanyl people seizing out in the streets and meth heads and crackheads. Oh my gosh, drunks. It is a fucking hellscape. Okay, what you said, Danny, about the homeless, that they keep them 4 blocks away from the convention center. I used to live in Manhattan Beach, California. I would watch the local police pick up any homeless who dared venture down the beach to the rich people. Only rich people advocate for the homeless to live this way. It's only them. Trust me, it's only them. So they would pick up the homeless and go dump them off in Venice Beach. They were not allowed to be at the Beverly Hills of the beach, which is Manhattan Beach. But they would dump all the homeless down the street at Venice Beach. Same with Beverly Hills. They don't allow vagrants and drug addicts to just walk the streets in Beverly Hills. They fucking pick them up and they dump them somewhere else because rich people advocate for you to tolerate these problems, but they won't do it. Hydrating tinted lip care, Beyond Glow. And it's very sad. That was our tinted primer in light medium, our Match Airbrush tinted primer. I love it. Have volunteered in, okay, do you see addiction as a medical or criminal issues? Addicts turn into criminals. I've never known an addict that doesn't eventually turn into a criminal. It rots your brain and it makes you do anything to get your fix. I stole money out of my grandma's purse for smack. No, our codes today is right here. Cleanse 60. Free face cleansing trio with Cleanse 60. So you just go to my main page and it tells you the codes. My main Avon page. Free cleansing trio with a $60 plus purchase right there. A $45 value. So you spend $60, you put in Cleanse 60 and you get $45 worth of free shit, which is kind of great. So that's your code. Cleanse, pardon me, 60. All right, a little bit of this. There we go. So yeah, I used to want to help homeless people and all this stuff, but at a certain point I had to realize allowing them to dwell in cities to prey on normal people, to poop and pee in the streets, to scarily stalk women in the middle of the night, that's not helping anyone. It doesn't help them, and it doesn't help the people who live there. It's harming our society. That's true. I never see any homeless in Manhattan Beach when I walk there with my cousins. Nope, not a single fucking one. Because rich people want you to live with the homeless drug addicts, but not them. They're above it. You deal with it. You are the bad person that you are upset you can't park your car past 5 p.m. because you might be preyed upon by meth heads. That's your fault. Healthcare and housing aren't seen as human rights. Well, who's making the housing? Here's my problem. Why do doctors have to work for free? And why would anyone trust the government to do free healthcare? The government has fucked literally everything up. But mythically and magically, it will not healthcare. It'll be like magic spells from Harry Potter. That will be the one good thing they do. That's insane. Is the system fucked up? Yes, because of the hospitals. They charge you $800 for an Advil in the hospital. But if you're an illegal immigrant, everything's on the house. That's the fucking problem. Everything's on the house if you're an illegal immigrant. And then we have to pay for it. The thing is, we have to pay for things. If a doctor puts themselves through school and offers a service, why should they not be paid for said service? You know what I mean? I don't understand anyone expecting like a house for free. If you built one, sure, go get some logs and shit and put it together. But expecting someone to just give you free housing, that's crazy. Like that's never happened ever in human history. Like if you wanted a house, you go build your hut, you put your shit together, but you had to do it, not someone else. Here goes the MAGA talking points again. Here, let me help you, Kay. I just blocked you. I don't need anyone like that in my life. I don't believe in stealing people's work. because I feel entitled to it. I just don't. I don't expect nurses and doctors to go to work for free because I feel entitled to their shit. And the last fucking entity on earth I am going to trust with fucking healthcare is the United States government. Literally, past behavior is the predictor of future behavior. They have done nothing but fuck everything up. But everyone's like, this is the one thing they won't fuck up. It's this. It's definitely this because I want it. I mean, would free healthcare rock? Dude, guys, I was just on shitty insurance for a year. I literally was like, unless I'm dying, I ain't going to the doctor. Insurance is the scam. You want to deal with healthcare? Deal with the fucking racket, the scam, the mafia of insurance. That's the problem. That's it. How do we focus on prevention and treatment? You worked in Europe. Elaine, I'm sorry, as a former addict, I don't have tons of sympathy and empathy for druggies. I was an asshole. I was selfish, and I literally harmed everyone around me with my decisions. I got my shit together because my loved ones, my friends were like, we want nothing to do with you anymore. Fuck off. That's what works. When you watch Intervention, how do we get them free everything and coddle their addictions? No, they're like, either you get your shit together or you get the fuck out of our lives. And I think that society as a whole has to say the same thing. It's what works. It's what worked with me. I was like, I'm losing everyone because I am a selfish, terrible asshole that is choosing drugs over the people who mean the most to me. And you know what? I got friends back, and they'll tell you some of my oldest friends in life were like, fuck off for like 3 years. They're like, get her the fuck away. And I understand why. I was a wreck, and I'm glad they did that because that is what woke me up. Not everyone holding my hand, not everyone telling me what a victim I was. They were like, you are a terrible person. Get away from us. Like, I couldn't live my delusion or lie anymore when the people who were the most important to me started cutting me off. My grandma, who raised me and lived in my home my entire life, moved out when I was 14 years old because she didn't want to be around me with this shit, and moved in with her sister in Indiana. Now, she said it was to help her sister, and she told me later on in life how much she regretted it, how much she wished she had stayed. But I was a selfish asshole who was hurting her and making her life terrible. I'm not making cookies this weekend. No, I don't need cookies. So it really sucks that I was such an awful person, but I am so grateful for my loved ones for having boundaries and cutting me off. Tough love is what helps, and tough love is what society needs to start giving druggies that are just hanging out in our cities, pooping on the ground. Sorry. Thankfully, I never hit that point because I got woke the fuck up. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I had strong enough people in my life to not enable my stupidity. I saw Avon. AdrianCurry.com. How long were you a bitch like that? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I was trying to come off of everything. And I did it myself, like, hurrah to me. I went to all these rehabs. Yes, I was snorting heroin and stuff when I was 15 years old. When I was 14, I snorted my first cocaine. Yeah, I was a wreck. It was bad. But I was clean by the time I was 20, but California sober. I was still smoking weed. Like, it's a medicine, blah, blah. No, it wasn't. I don't need to be on anything. I just need to be a sober person. I'm better this way. I don't need to alter my consciousness to have a good time. I have tons of fun sober. It's awesome. Highly recommend being sober. I love it. But yeah, by the time I was 20 years old, no more anything. And I'm very happy that people were like, get the fuck out of here. I had bad shit happen to me when I was a kid and I didn't know how to process it. And I jumped into drugs and then I hurt people I really loved and cared about. And I regret it. But I'm really glad people were like, get the fuck out of here, loser. Because I was. Sorry, I was. Guys, adriennecurry.com to shop with me. Code today is CLEANSE60. Spend $60 or more in my Avon store, and you get a free $45 trio, which is, where'd it go? Right here. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I'm an idiot. It's right here. Face cleansing trio, $45 value, cleanse 60. I love you guys. I started young and I ended young, but unfortunately I lied to myself and said weed wasn't a drug. So I never truly sobered up until I was 32. And I would justify it like it's not heroin. It's not like I'm over here snorting smack, which is true, but it's also a delusion to pretend that it too wasn't a drug. And I guess I wasn't ready to be sober yet, and face my demons, because that's what you're doing when you're like drinking, smoking weed, all the shit. You don't want to admit it to yourself. You're numbing yourself to run from something, and it's just better to fix it. It's just better to fix it. But love you guys. Thank you for coming. Make me your Avon lady. I'd love to be your Avon lady. adriennecurry.com to shop. If you want, click the Adrienne Curry store right here. You click that. It has my email right here at the top of the screen. Contact me. There's my email. And you can email me and ask me to help you pick things out. But I love you guys. Stay off drugs. They're stupid. No one does drugs because they aren't fun. But that fun risks your entire life. So it's just not worth it. And it's only fun the first